Letitia, come on up. You said you wanted to be a judge here, so. Oh, no, wait. All right, which church are you with, Nash? All right, so sit out this one, and you can do the next one. So, a couple of reminders on rules. The judges, we select 3 judges to help us to make sure that an answer that is given is accurate according to the verse. So I have already 1 judge sitting in place. I need 2 more they have to be adults, sorry. 2 more adults who are not members of the 2 congregations that are playing first. So you cannot be a judge when your team is up there, is essentially the way it is. So we have one right now, Mr. Travis, thank you very much. And I need 1 more volunteer, 1 more to come right here and be a judge. You have to be an adult. You know, the kids are enthusiastic, but I don't know. All right, come on. Here we go. All right, Greg. All right, thank you, Greg. Woo! All right, a couple of reminders about how this works. So this will be good for all of you who are playing tomorrow to get a refresher right now. So we'll have 2 teams up here. I will begin to ask a question. At any point, somebody could buzz in. We will stop question reading when that person buzzes. We'll ask. We will say their name. Ben will say their name in this case, and then they will answer. What is it called if you give your answer before your name is said? A blurted answer, yes. That is considered, by the way, a blurted answer is a wrong answer, even if it is a right answer. So do not answer before your name is called. I'm looking at you, Mark Bellamy. All right. Okay, so that's important. If they get it right, they get points for their team. The first several questions are worth 10 points, and then the next group is worth 15. If they get it wrong, there is a 5-point deduction. So, if you are just guessing, it is not wise to buzz in. But if you're pretty confident you know it, buzz right in. If the first person who buzzes gets it wrong, the other team gets a chance to answer. So if you're on the team with the person who got it wrong, don't buzz in. It's the other team's chance to do it. All right? That's the way we've done it. That's the way it'll be. So be it. All right. Anything else? Anything else I should mention? Spirit of love and goodness and all that stuff still applies. Yes, sir. You can go into a negative as a team if you get too many wrong answers. Great question. So that's important. But you know, everyone's a winner. All right. I think we're ready to get started. I've blabbered enough. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and have Richland Road and Virginia Avenue go on up and get into your place behind your name. Go on up.
Thanks, Ryan. Are you joining us?
Now then, we will have the Pharaoh Lord of Lies team come over here into the on-deck seats. So you come up now, because they get ready for the next game. And then the Hanoverton adults, the Hanoverton team, come on over here to this spot. So, Hanoverton folks here.
Yes.
Weirton Heights there. All right. All right, so we...
names. I forgot my names. No, for sure. I'm going to forget that.
All right. Okay. All right. So as we like to do, we're going to start over here with Noah. Go ahead and buzz in and give us your name, Noah.
Noah Toomey.
Woo!
Chris Lamb.
Woo!
Greetings. Sue Collins.
Sue.
Jacinta.
Woo!
Donnie.
Woo!
Graceland.
Mark.
All right. So you ladies you might have to lean over to the mic, I don't know, or just shout it out so we can hear it. So. Yes. All right. So the first 7 questions are worth 10 points. 10 points for the first 7 questions. And we ask that there's no talking in the audience so that we can all hear what's being said. As I read the question, if I read all the way through twice, you essentially have 5 seconds to buzz in. And then when you buzz in and Ben calls your name, then you'll have 5 seconds to give your answer. And of course, let Ben call your name before you give an answer. All right, here we go. Question number 1. On which new moon after...
Jacinta.
The third new moon.
That is correct. Question number 2. After God tells Moses that he is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, what did Moses do because he was afraid to look at God?
Graceland.
He fell on his face to the ground. Please?
All right, the judges say no. Judges say no.
It's okay.
So I'll repeat the question for the other team. After God tells Moses that he is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, what did Moses do because he was afraid to look at God, according to chapter 3, verse 6?
No talking.
All right, so the correct answer was Moses hid his face. Moses hid his face.
Sounds good enough.
All right, question number 3. When the morning dew had gone up from the wilderness, there was a fine flake-like thing, as fine as what?
Jacinta.
Coriander seed.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. I'll repeat for the other team. When the morning dew had gone up from the wilderness, there was a fine flake-like thing, as fine as what?
Sue.
Frost is correct, yes. Over here. So Kendall, scoring-wise, I think Richland Road should have a 5, is what I would, because she answered 1 right, and then there was 1 wrong. Oh, were there 2 wrong? Oh, that's right. Okay, so this is accurate then. Mark, what are you doing to me? What are you doing?
Thank you.
All right, all right, anybody's game. We are continuing on. Here we go. Question 4. This is going to be one of those first one to the buzzer kind of things. So, who were Shiphrah and Puah?
The Hebrew midwives.
That is correct. Question 5. In chapter 11, verse 9, when the Lord told Moses that Pharaoh would not listen to him, what did he say would be multiplied?
Graceland.
The glories and signs.
Let me check with the judges. That is correct. That's an example where, and that's why we have judges, is when we have wording that's slightly different but means the same thing, then that's what we look to the judges to help us decide. In this case, the verse said, "my wonders," and it was determined the glories and signs is consistent with that. So, all right. I won't always explain it that much, but just, since we're early on here. All right, question number 6. After the serpent turns back into a staff, what does God tell Moses to do next?
Graceland.
To put his hand into his cloak.
That is correct. Question 7. Besides Pharaoh, who else was there when Moses and Aaron's staff became a serpent?
Graceland.
The magicians and sorcerers.
One moment. Sorry, that is not correct. I will ask it again for the other team. Besides Pharaoh, who else was there when Moses and Aaron's staff became a serpent, according to chapter 7, verse 10?
Magicians and wise men.
Repeat it, please.
Magicians and wise men.
I think for the same reason we might have to say no. Yeah, so the reason we're saying no to that, the correct answer is Pharaoh's servants, and they are always identified as a different group than the magicians. Okay, so. Yeah, so the right after that, he summoned the wise men and the magicians to come in. So you were in the right neighborhood, Noah. And by the way, don't blurt your answer out before he calls your name. So otherwise, you guys are doing great. All right, anybody's game. That's the end of the 10-point questions. Currently, we have Richland Road at 25 and Virginia Avenue at 5. But the next questions are worth 15 points, so that's why I'm saying still anybody's game. Please, in the audience, remember there's no talking, and please let Ben call your name before answering the question. Question number 8. According to chapter 10, verses 1 and 2, what did the Lord want Moses to tell in the hearing of his son and grandson? According to chapter 10, verses 1 and 2, what did the Lord want Moses to tell in the hearing of his son and grandson? Correct answer is how the Lord dealt harshly with the Egyptians. How the Lord dealt harshly with them. It says you will tell it in the hearing of your son and your grandson. All right. Question number 9. On what generations does the Lord visit the iniquity?
Donnie.
Third and fourth.
It is correct. Question 10. In chapter 2, verses 13 and 14, after Moses asked the man in the wrong, "Why do you strike your companion?" the man,
Chris.
Who made you prince and judge over us?
that is correct. Question 11. In whose sight did Moses strike the rock from which the water was to come? According to chapter 17, verse 6.
Sue.
And the side of the elders.
That is correct. Question 12. According to chapter 5, verse 9, what does Pharaoh say will happen if heavier work is laid on the men? According to chapter 5, verse 9, what does Pharaoh say will happen if heavier work is laid on the men? We were looking for, they will pay no regard to lying words. No regard to lying words. Question 13. In chapter 8, verses 1 and 2, 7 days after the Lord turned water to blood, what plague did the Lord say he would send upon Pharaoh?
Mark.
The plague of the frogs.
You are correct. A well thought out answer, I might have. Question 14. On which day of the month shall every man of Israel,
Jacinta.
10th day, they would take a lamb? Yep. All right, so.
Go ahead and do one.
Okay. All right. So currently the score is 70 to 35. Normally, so the next question is going to be the team consulting question worth 25 points. Normally we would say that the difference in the scores is so much that we wouldn't do that question. But just so people can see it done, and I think you guys would enjoy it, we're going to go ahead and do the team question this time. We won't do that every time, but since we're kind of demonstrating how this works, we will do that. So, with the team questions, anyone can buzz in on your team, and then you will wait for Ben to call the name of the team, either Richland Road or Virginia Avenue. And then whoever buzzed in, you have 10 seconds to consult and then give your answer. While the one team is consulting, the other team does not consult at the same time. You just stand there and look pretty, okay? All right? And then, but if they miss it, then the other team has a chance. Here we go. Jethro told Moses to look for able men to be appointed as chiefs over the people. What 3 qualities?
Virginia Ave.
Yes. Go ahead.
Fear God, trustworthy, and hate a bribe.
That is correct. All right. That is the end of the game. Richland Road wins 70 to 60, but go ahead and shake hands. Yes, and great game. All right, so now we're looking for
Heading out.
coming up to the next game. We have the Pharaoh Lord of Lies and the Hanoverton team, Hanoverton and Weirton Heights.
Putting it on the flow. Someone's gonna be a jerk up here.
Yeah. All right, so I need to replace a judge. Letitia, are you still interested? Come on up. Yep. Oh, wait, we got Letitia had volunteered too. We'll get you next time, Josh. Thank you. All right. Now, on deck, I need the dry ground walkers over here on deck, and then the Richland Road team on deck over here. So Richland Road over here, dry ground walkers on deck over here. It looks like we got our teams up here, so we're good.
Which one?
That way.
We're leaning on you. We're leaning on you, Kathy.
Okay.
No pressure.
No, I was going to say, no pressure. No, you guys are on.
All right, so is each of these a,
Jake is not here, but this one is still 5 members. I think.
okay, so which one is that? All right, so you have a 4-member team, and you have a 5-member team? You have oh, Victor's not here. Okay, all right. So the reason I asked that, everybody, is because with 5-member teams, halfway through, we let the other player come up and play. So, all right, let's go ahead, and we'll start over here with Angela, and just buzz in and give us your name.
Angela.
Woo!
David.
All right.
Kathy.
Yes.
Jason.
All right. Woo! All right.
Now you said that, Betty. We're watching.
All right. All right, so you guys saw how it happened the first time around. So same thing, we will read the questions. These first 7 questions are worth 10 points each. And when you buzz in, let Ben say your name before you give your answer. Okay? All right. And
Okay, she says you can't hear very well, so try to speak up.
can you hear me on this?
If you speak up a little bit.
Okay, all right. I will do my best to keep it loud. And I don't know if we have a chance to increase the volume, but we will do the best. Ah, we do. Look at that. Is that better? Okay. And then Ben will shout with his, he has an outdoor voice, so, yeah. All right, question number 1. What did God hear from his people when he remembered his covenant, according to chapter 6?
Angela.
Let me make sure our judges are good on that. That is correct. The original text was groaning, so they groaned, they cried. Question number 2. How did Moses go out to greet his father-in-law, according to
John.
He bowed down and kissed him.
That is correct. Question 3. According to chapter 9, verse 4, what is the distinction the Lord makes with the plague of the livestock?
Angela.
The Egyptians and the people that lived in Goshen.
We're going to say no on that one, so I will repeat it for the other team. According to chapter 9, verse 4, what is the distinction the Lord makes with the plague of the livestock?
Mary Lou.
That is correct. Yeah. All right. Still anybody's game. Question 4. According to chapter 14, verses 19 and 20, in addition to the pillar of cloud, what else moved from going before the host of Israel?
John.
Pillar of fire.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. I'll repeat for the other team. According to chapter 14, verses 19 and 20, in addition to the pillar of cloud, what else moved from going before the host of Israel to being behind them?
Kathy.
That is correct, yes. All right, question 5. What did Pharaoh do to afflict the people with heavy burdens, according to chapter 1, verse 11?
Mary Lou.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. I'll read the question again. What did Pharaoh do to afflict the people with heavy burdens, according to chapter 1, verse 11?
Kathy.
I'm sorry, that is not correct either. See, the clue there was it was chapter 1, not chapter 5. In chapter 1, he set taskmasters over them. He was just beginning their slavery then. So, yeah, that's the difference. All right. Question 6. What was Moses to tell Aaron to do when Pharaoh said, "Prove yourself"?
Jason.
Signs of the Lord. I'm sorry, that is not correct. I'll ask for the other team. What was Moses to tell Aaron to do when Pharaoh said, "Prove yourselves by working a miracle," according to chapter 7, verse 9?
Mary Lou.
That is correct. That is correct. That is correct.
You got it.
Just keep talking, right?
All in one breath.
All right, question number 7. Pharaoh in chapter 5, let's have some quiet, please. Yes, thank you. Pharaoh in chapter 5, verses 6 and 7, commanded the taskmasters and foremen to give the people what additional task?
Betty.
Yep. To gather the straw, yes, yes. I chuckled because that's what we were thinking before, so, all right. That's the end of the 10-point questions. Still a good game. Weirton Heights 30, Hanover 5. The good news is the next questions are worth 15 points, so it'll be easy to surge ahead for either team, maybe. We don't have substitutions because we just have 4 on each side. And yeah, if we could make sure out in the audience that we're keeping the talking down. I know I'm hearing some voices, but it would be greatly appreciated. And of course, let Ben call your name before answering.
You did good, Betty.
Yes. Question number 8. According to chapter 11, verse 3, who was very great in the land of Egypt?
Mary Lou.
Moses is correct. Question 9. In the Song of Moses, in chapter 15, verse 7, Moses says, "In the greatness of your majesty you overthrow your adversaries." What happens when God sends out his fury? In the Song of Moses, in chapter 15, verse 7, Moses says, "In the greatness of your majesty, you overthrow your adversaries." What happens when God sends out his fury?
Angela?
They cower before him.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. Correct answer, it consumes them like stubble. It consumes them like stubble.
I was scared. I didn't want to lose points.
All right, here we go. Question number 10. According to chapter 13, verse 3, Moses said to the people, "Remember this day in which you came out from Egypt, out of what place?" According to...
Jim?
Say it again, please. I'm sorry, no, that is not correct. Yes. I'll repeat for the other team. According to chapter 13:3, Moses said to the people, "Remember this day in which you came out from Egypt, out of what place?"
Kathy?
That is correct. Yes.
Good job, Kathy.
Question 11. What two materials did God say the people shall not make gods out of?
Jim?
Yeah, that is correct. Yes. Question 12. When Pharaoh's daughter saw the child who was in the basket among the reeds, what did she say about him?
Mary Lou?
Yes. That part at the end was the part we were looking for. So, all right. Question 13. Where did the congregation of Israel move on from by stages?
Mary Lou?
Yes, yes. Ben was eager to ding you if you waited too long to answer. He's counting 1,000, 2, 1,000. All right. All right. Final question worth 15 points. Question number 14. Whom did God tell to ask for jewelry and clothing from their neighbors?
Dave?
The Israelites?
I'm sorry, that is not correct. I'll repeat for the other team. Whom did God tell to ask for jewelry and clothing from their neighbors in chapter 3, verses 21 and 22, and so plunder the Egyptians?
Mary Lou?
Say, I think we have to. I think we have to say no. And it is confusing because in another place he says men and women, but here it was only the women. It was just the women we were looking for. So.
Who were Israelites?
They were Israelites, yeah. So you all were kind of in the area, but. All right, so that is the end of the game. Weirton Heights 80, Hanoverton 10.
But then she added to it. She modified it.
I think that's a coaching issue, Mark.
Right answer and stop.
There we go. Get one for the other two names. Okay, Ben.
When you ask them to speak in their speakers, because the girl there and the girl here, when
Yeah.
they're out, you can't hear nothing.
Yeah, one of these, this one right here, isn't
Uh-huh.
working, but I can have the others do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They need to go to the speakers because you can't. We couldn't hear how.
Can't hear of it, yeah, yeah.
It'll be better tomorrow.
I know, but I didn't know if you guys knew.
All right, so we're entering into the semifinal round for the adults, and so we'll have the Dry Ground Walkers from Weirton Height and the Richland Road Lord is Among Us team coming up here to the stage. And then on deck, we will have the Marysville Mana Seekers over here, and the Weirton Heights Pharaoh Lord of Lies team over on this side. And we'll hand out the games.
Any judges?
Okay, we need judges that are not involved with these teams. 2 judges.
Yeah.
All right, 2 volunteers to come up here. Yep, we got one. We need one more. All right, so the semifinal games have 20 total questions. So there's a longer game than the ones we just did. You gave me one to ask from. That's great.
I thought you might want that.
Yeah.
Now this game, I did all questions, chapter 6 questions. Is that okay?
All right, for grins, let's start over here and buzz in and say your name.
Graceland.
Mark.
All right. So we've had, as you notice, there's a microphone issue in front of you. So loud voices, or feel free to just push people out of the way and go to a microphone. Yeah. Everybody. Otherwise, if you're in front of a microphone, the worst, just make sure you speak into it so that the folks in the back can hear you. All right. The first 9 questions are worth 10 points. And we do need to have quiet in the room. Thank you for whoever is shushing. And as always, you will have, after I read the question, you'll have 5 seconds to buzz in, 5 seconds to give your answer. We will listen to your answer until you stop, as you noticed in the other games. So, but you should stop when you get to the right place. So there you go. All right. Let Ben call your name before answering the question. And here we go. Question 1, according to chapter 9, verses 15 and 16. Although by now the Lord could have struck Pharaoh and his people with pestilence that would have cut them off from the earth,
Lori.
He did it to show his power and that his name might be proclaimed in all the earth.
Sorry, that's not correct. I will repeat for the other team. According to chapter 9, verses 15 and 16. Although by now the Lord could have struck Pharaoh and his people with pestilence that would have cut them off from the earth, instead, to show his power, he did this. Correct answer, raised them up. So he told Pharaoh and his servants that he raised them up for this purpose. So, I know. Start out with a tough one. Question number 2. Why should you not go up to God's altar on...
So your nakedness may not be exposed.
That is correct. Question number 3. According to chapter 2, verse 2, how long did the woman hide her son? 3 months, yes. Question 4. In chapter 17, verse 14, God said that he would utterly blot out the Correct. Question number 5. At what time did the Lord command Moses to go to the Nile? In the morning, yes. Question number 6. What would happen if the people broke through to the Lord? We'll check with the judges on this one. We're going to say that's incorrect, and I'll repeat it for the other team. What would happen if the people broke through to the Lord while he was on the mountain, according to chapter 19, verse...
They would be stoned or shot.
I think for the same reason we'll say it was tough because the wording we're looking for here, many would perish. Many of them would perish. In the first case, you talked about what the Lord would do. We were looking for what would happen to them. You were kind of on the right track. That probably was involved in the perishing, but yeah. Those are all from different verses in the same chapter. So that was a tough one. Let's move on. Cleansing breath, everyone. Question number 7. According to chapter 2, verse 17, why did Moses have to save the priest's daughters and water their flock? Yes, that is correct. Yes. Question number 8. According to chapter 12, verse 30, what was there in Egypt because there was not a house where someone was... A great cry, yes. Question 9. As Moses was leading his father-in-law's flock in chapter 3, verse 1, he came to the mountain of God, which was called what?
Horeb.
Horeb is correct. All right, that's the end of the 10-point questions. We don't have substitutes, right? Four-member teams here? Okay. The next questions, 10 through 18, are worth 15 points each. No talking during the competition. Let Ben call your name. You guys are doing a great job with that. So, all right. Question 10. In chapter 8, verse 3, what is the first room of the house that the Lord says will be invaded?
Bedroom.
The bedroom. Question 11. According to chapter 14 and verse 15, when the Lord said to Moses, "Why do you cry to me?"
Lord, tell the people to move forward.
That is correct. Question 12. After God tells Moses to go to the elders of Israel in chapter 3, what was Moses' concern in chapter 4, verse 1?
He was concerned of why would Egyptians listen listen to him when the Israelites would not listen to him?
Let me get a ruling on that one. I'm sorry, Donnie, that's not correct. Let me ask this for the other team. After God tells Moses to go to the elders of Israel in chapter 3, what was Moses' concern in chapter 4, verse 1? The concern was that they will not believe me, and it was the elders, not the Egyptians yet. So his first concern was that the Israelites, the elders, wouldn't believe him. So that's why we couldn't accept it. All right. Question 13. Where did the people of Israel go when they set out from the Red Sea? According to chapter... That is correct. Question 14. According to chapter 5, verse 14, who was beaten and asked, "Why have you not..." The foreman is correct, yes. Question 15. When the people left the land of Egypt, what did Moses take with him?
The bones of Joseph.
Correct. And he technically took his own bones with him as well.
He left his bones back there.
All right.
Trading them out.
Yeah.
Question 16. After the darkness, when Pharaoh told Moses that they could go to serve the Lord, who or what did Pharaoh say had to remain? Flocks and herds is correct. Question 17. What did the people of Israel say would kill them in the wilderness of Sin, according to chapter 16, verse 3? Hunger, yes. And question number 18. What did Jethro tell Moses would certainly happen if Moses can... That is correct. All right, so the Weirden Heights 130, Richland Road 40, that would be the end of the game. Go ahead and shake hands. Shake hands, yes. Good game.
One has 5, you have to substitute.
I trust Betty on that one.
All right, so you're a 3-member team, right?
When in doubt, ask
Three of you.
Betty.
I like what you're doing there. That way you can use the microphone. Nice, nice. All right, so we have in front of us here the Marysville Manna Seekers and the Weirden Heights Pharaoh Lord of Lies. Nice. Let's start down here with Katie. Go ahead, buzz in and say your name.
Jason.
John.
Jim.
All right. All right, by now you've seen how it's done. So the first 9 questions will be worth 10 points. And of course, you'll have, after I read the question, you'll have 5 seconds to buzz in. And then when you do, 5 seconds to give your answer. If you do pause while giving it, then we have to accept whatever you've just said. So let Ben call your name before answering your question. Here we go. Question number 1. According to chapter 2, verse 24, what were the names of the three people with which God had made a covenant?
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
That is correct. All right, question number 2. According to chapter 14, verse 8, Pharaoh pursued the people of Israel while they were going out in what way? Defiantly is correct. Question 3. According to chapter 10, verses 4 and 5, what was it that would cover the face of the land so that... That is correct. Question 4. When the people came to Elam, there were 12 springs of water, according...
And 70 palms.
70 palms, that's correct.
Yeah, there you go, Betty.
All right, good game, good game. Question 5. What did Pharaoh tell the Hebrew midwives to do if they see a son born?
They were to throw him into the Nile.
One moment. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. I will ask again for the other team. What did Pharaoh tell the Hebrew midwives to do if they see a son born to the Hebrew woman, according to chapter 1, verse 16?
They were to kill it.
Just kill it, yes. They hadn't got to the throwing into the Nile part yet. Yeah. So we don't like either versions. We don't like either one. But anyway, all right. Going on. Question 6. According to chapter 12, verse 8, in addition to eating the roasted flesh of the lamb, what other two things were to be?
Unleavened bread and bitter herbs.
That is correct. Question 7. In chapter 5, verse 21, what do the foremen tell Moses and Aaron that the Lord should do? In chapter 5, verse 21, what do the foremen tell Moses and Aaron that the Lord should do?
To judge them.
Yes, that is correct, yes. The phrase was, the Lord look on you and judge, and then judging was what they were looking for. So, question number 8. Jethro was priest of what place? That is correct. Question 9. What did Moses do after his staff became a serpent?
He ran from it.
He did run, yes. All right, that's the end of the 10-point questions. Still anybody's game. It's Marysville 55, Weirton Heights 30. And the next questions 10 through 18 will be worth 15 points each. And we will continue on. Question 10. What did the Lord say the people would know when they ate meat at twilight and bread in the morning, according to chapter 16, verse 12?
That I am the Lord that brought you out of Egypt.
Yes, I would accept that, yes.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
Question 11. In addition to Pharaoh and his people, who else would the frogs come up on, according to Moses and...
His servants and the people.
Yeah, his servants, yes, correct. And the people. Yeah. Question 12. Where did the congregation of Israel camp after they moved on from the wilderness of sin, according to 17, verse 1? Where did the congregation of Israel camp after they moved on from the wilderness of sin, according to 17, verse 1?
Mara.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. We were looking for Rephidim.
You had the wrong one.
I was thinking of Sinai.
All right, tie game. Question 13. According to chapter 12, verse 37, the people of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to what place? That is correct. Question 14. Libni and Shimei are the sons of who, according to chapter 6, verse 17? Gershon is correct. That's our favorite section.
It's okay.
Question 15. On which day did God say he would come down on Mount Sinai? The third day. That is correct. Question 16. When God told Moses that, and this is a little bit longer question, so bear with me. When God told Moses that the Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, was his name forever, what did he say was to be done with that name, according to chapter 3, verse 15? When God told Moses that the Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob was his name forever, what did he say was to be done with that name, according to chapter 3, verse 15? It would be remembered throughout all generations. All right. Question 17. According to chapter 13, verse 17, because God did not want the people of Israel to see war and return to Egypt, he did not leave.
They didn't go to Philistia.
That is correct.
Yeah, man.
Tie game as we read question 18. Question 18. According to chapter 9, verses 31 and 32, what two crops were not struck down? That is correct.
I had it. Okay.
All right, that's the end of the 15-point questions. We will do the team consulting bonus questions. They are worth 25 points each. And just as you saw before, anybody can buzz in. And then you will wait for Ben to call your name, the name of your team, excuse me. So Marysville or Weirton Heights. And then you have, whoever he called has 10 seconds to consult, and then you give us your answer. The other team, just stand there and look like you know what's going on. All right, so then if they get it wrong, the other team has a chance to consult and do the same thing. All right. Here we go. According to the statute of the Passover in chapter 12, verses 43 and 45 through 45, name at least 2 kinds of people who are not allowed. We need your answer. That would be now.
A foreigner and a hired worker.
Correct. All right, now we have one more, because there are 2 bonus questions in the semifinals and the finals. So we have one more, same thing. It's a team consulting question, works exactly the same way, and it's worth 25 points. In what 3 ways was the manna described in chapter
Coriander seed, tasted like honey, wafers made with honey, and the third one is white.
That is correct. Yeah! Woo! All right. That's the end of the game. Good, excellent game. Both of you shake hands. You are the winners. Weird Heights comes out ahead.
Says she gives up. Yeah. What's that? She just says she gives up.
She just won't give it to him.
Hey, I couldn't say for
Okay.
Here we go.
Wait a minute, let my kids in.
All right, so we have the adult final. I think everybody knows how to use your buzzer, and we know who you guys are at this point. So we're going to skip that part where we buzz in and say your name. But feel free to buzz in and answer questions. That would be great.
See
Yeah.
what Richard told me? I could feel free to blurt now.
He wants you to blurt. You know, that's going to make the ride back really uncomfortable.
He's our driver. I'm in his van.
All right. Just like the other game, the first 9 questions are worth 10 points each. 10 points for the first 9 questions. In the room, just a reminder, no talking during the competition, no giving of hints, that sort of thing. You know about the 5 seconds thing and all that. And of course, let someone, we'll say Ben, call your name before answering the question.
Let's do it, guys.
Oh, okay. It's a similar question to one we saw earlier, but just different. So, here we go.
Okay.
On the 10th day of the month, what is it that every man shall take?
An unblemished lamb.
Correct. You are correct. Yes.
Let's go, Betty.
I think we had in reverse, we had what day of the month? I don't know. So anyway, Question 2. Why did the people quarrel with Moses at Rephidim according to... There was no water to drink. That's right. That's correct. Who died along with Joseph according to chapter... That is correct. Question 4. According to 15, verse 1, who sang a song to the... And, okay, yes, that is correct. Question 5. Where would Moses and the elders ask the king of Egypt to... I'm not sure. Hold on, I just want to make sure this question makes sense. All right, I'm going to ask the question. If you're unsure at all, don't answer. So, where would Moses and the elders ask the king of Egypt to let them go in chapter 3, verse 18?
Into the wilderness, 3 days journey to hold a...
Yes, you got it. So, I was making that harder than it was, I guess. Question 6. Why did the Lord bless the seventh day and make it holy? Yeah, that's correct, yes. Yeah. Question 7. Why did Pharaoh say that he would not obey the Lord's voice and let Israel go? He did not know the Lord. That is correct. Question 8. According to chapter 10, verse 28, what did Pharaoh say that Moses should take care never? That is correct. Question 9. This will be a fill in the blank where the blank is at the end of what I say. So in chapter 19, verse 3, when God called to Moses from the mountain, he referred to Israel as the house of what? Jacob. House of Jacob, yes. All right, very quickly we've got to the end of the 10-point questions. And so far it's dry ground, 70, and the Lord of Lies, 20. That's what you get for being Lords of Lies. No, just kidding. Still anyone's game. The next questions are worth 15 points. Questions 10 through 18 worth 15 points each. Here we go. Why did Moses name his son Gershom? That is correct. All right, question 11. When Moses told the people to remember the day in which they came out from Egypt, by what means did he say that the Lord had brought them out? A strong hand. That is correct. Question 12. What will the Egyptians know when the Lord stretches out his hand against Egypt? According to chapter 7, verse 5. That is correct.
That's okay.
Question 13. When Jethro brought a burnt offering and sacrifices to God, who else came before God besides Moses and Aaron? According to chapter... The elders. Yes, that is correct.
I'm afraid.
Question 14. In the conversation about Moses' inability to speak well in chapter 4, verse 11, what question does the Lord ask Moses? Yeah, that is correct. Yes. Question 15. According to chapter 16, verse 1, after the people of Israel had left Egypt, on what day of the second month?
15th day.
15th day is correct.
All right.
Question 16. in chapter 8, verses 28 and 29, when Pharaoh tells Moses that he can take the people into the wilderness to sacrifice to their God, what does Moses warn Pharaoh not? That's right. That's correct. Question 17. In chapter 14, verses 1 and 2, the Lord told Moses to tell the people to encamp in front of Pi Hahiroth between Migdal you got it, yeah. I'm not sure I could say it either. Baal Zephon, maybe? At any rate. Question 18. According to chapter 9, verse 29, what reason does Moses give for why the thunder will cease and there will be no more hail? According to chapter 9, verse 29, what reason does Moses give for why the thunder will cease and there will be no more hail? So that you may know that the earth is the Lord's. So he was speaking to Pharaoh. So Pharaoh would know. So, complicated. All right. So that is the end of the 15-point questions. Looks like that would be the end of the game. So congratulations, Dry Ground.
That's right, we did. We did.
Yeah, there we go.
So we get third place then, right? We get third place. Richard Road. I think, right?
Yeah, Richard. Yeah.
Yeah. You heard me?
What?
Richard Road gets third place
Oh,
for ANDOTS.
Yeah, it's hard to get it right. Okay. No, I wasn't done. I think it needs. Hold on. I think it needs fixed. No, leave it alone, Landon. It's good enough. Yeah.
For day one, and I think we have the adult. We have a couple of adult things for day two, so we'll in a minute on that. But before we do the awards, I wanted to give Larry an opportunity to talk with us. Larry Stewart, he and his wife have come to us from Rochester and University, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the day, they have the university has been generous to offer certificates for today's top 3 finishers in the 7th to 12th grade. So those are scholarship certificates that you can then use if you decide to go to Rochester, and it's a great opportunity. So I'm going to let Larry just speak for a few minutes about that university, and then after that we will begin the awards. So Larry?
Greetings from Rochester University. We're happy to be with you today. For those that are not familiar with Rochester University, it has a rich 65-year history, and it's known for strong academic programs, student involvement, all kinds of activities students can be involved in, and a faith-affirming environment. We have a beautiful campus. We're only 3 hours north of you. It's a wooded area in the back, a park that's been developed that we share with the community. It's part of the campus, but there's the Clinton River Trail that runs down the back that goes all the way from one side of Michigan to the other, and it backs up to our campus and part of it. We have academic programs, 25 different bachelor's degree programs, 3 master's degree programs, athletics, lots of opportunity, 10 sports for women, 10 for men, and 2 co-ed, competitive cheer and esports, which is kind of unique. When I found out we were going to be offering esports as an intercollegiate activity, I thought, really? But it is. And extracurricular activities, lots of things like theater, music, social clubs, special interest groups, and a lot of spiritual formation opportunities. Good financial aid is available to our students. You know, college is expensive, but there are lots of opportunities. One of those opportunities today are these 3 certificates. Each one of them is worth $1,000 for those that are in the first most valuable players in this contest. So at this time, wherever Brian is, he's going to present those awards now.
We don't have to do it today.
Okay, we're just, I think, ready to do this. So we're going to start with, we just got to see the adults. We're going to go ahead and give out some awards there. And we're going to do adult teams. For the adult teams and the adult individuals, we're going to do essentially from the buzzer round, as we only had one set of MVP stuff, right? Yeah. So, plus, we've got so many adults that had like perfect scores and everything else from day one. I will mention who that was because I think it's pretty impressive to think about perfect scores. We had, looks like we had five individuals, adults, who had perfect scores for day one. I'll read their names. So it was Lori Stevenson from the Dry Ground Walkers, Rich Stevenson, same team, Richard, Steve Smithbauer, Tina Smithbauer, and that was the team, as you can imagine, got a perfect score as a team as well. And then from Richland Road, Jacinta Gary. Jacinta, yes. And they were all tremendous. So the adults, good job there. For day two, no, I'm gonna finish up day two for the adults, and then we'll go into doing awards for the younger folks. So, you want to do teams or individuals first? All right, we'll do teams. So we'll start with the third place team. As a reminder of how it works in day two, the third place team is the team from the semifinal that lost to the eventual first place team. That's how we've always done that. If anybody has any disagreement, I don't know, but I think that's the way that we typically do that, yes. So that would then make the Richland Road, The Lord is Among Us, as the third place team on day two. So come and accept your great, there we go, accepting Accepting for Richland Road is Mark and Graceland. Yes. Woo. Wonderful job. The second place team, the Wheaton Heights Pharaoh Lord of Lies. Someone come on up and gain valuable prize if you want it. Valuable prize, but you got to collect it. These are collector's items right here. Trying to photobomb here. All right. And the number one team, the Weirton Heights Dry Ground Walkers. Congratulations. All right, and don't get too comfortable in your seats. We're going to do individuals for the adults. Third place, there's a tie. Rich Stevenson and Tina Smithbauer. Rich and Steven. So you've got. And again, this is basically how many questions they answered correctly on day 2. So that's how they got to this spot. Excellent work, excellent. Second place for the adults, day 2, Lori Stevenson. Lori. Excellent work. All right. And first place is Mary Lou here. Mary Lou. Accepting for Mary Lou. All right. All right. Excellent job from the adults, and they gave us a great example of what tomorrow will be like as well. Every one of them played excellent games up there, so we're looking forward to more of that kind of thing tomorrow. All right, now we're going to go to the 4th through 6th grade, and we will start with naming the top 3 teams in 4th through 6th grade, and then we will do individuals. And then we will go to our 7th to 12th. Are you ready, gentlemen? Third place, 4 through 6, is Richland Road Wash Your Clothes. Yes. Hurry up, Dad. Come on. All right. Second place team, 4th through 6th grade. The Castle Hills Feasters of Unleavened Bread. All right. What's that? All right. First place team, 4th through 6th grade, is is the National Road Team Nats. Team Nats. All right, now we'll do the top 3 individuals for 4th through 6th grade. And the 3rd place MVP with, so they got out of the 100 questions, 96 right. I'd say that's pretty good. How about Jonah Kowaleski? Jonah, Castle Hills.
There's just one. Yeah, for all this. Yeah.
That's a smile right there. Second place, 98 of 100, correct. Kylie Patton, National Road. Kylie Patton. And first place with a perfect score, Layla Bailey, Weirton Heights. Layla Bailey. All right. Now 7th to 12th grade, and we'll start with the teams, and then we'll do the individuals after that. All right, 3rd place is the Castle Hills Eagles Wings. Eagles Wings. All right. 2nd place, Castle Hills Lambs on Fire. Lambs on Fire. Yeah. That's a great question. Yes. Worked out well. All right then, and the top team for day 1 for 7th to 12th grade, Weirton Heights, the Secret Arts. The Secret Arts. All right, and so now we'll do the individual MVPs for 7th to 12th grade. And we have one in each. Sometimes we have ties, but it kind of worked out well that we have one in each. So after you get your medal here, go over to see Larry to get the scholarship certificate that's going to go with this. So medal, see Larry. What do? Medal. See Larry, all right. Okay. All right, 3rd place, 97 out of 100 correct, will be and it's a longer name, Drew Gambardella. Drew, Castle Hills. Second place with 99 out of 100. Lily Farley, Marysville. Lily Farley. She's going, and this is one of our first time players, so good job, Lily. All right, and our number one MVP, perfect score, Hayden Bailey, Weirton Heights. I'm sorry, what? Oh, okay, all right, there we go. Yes, yes. All right, so I think we're done with awards for now. Tomorrow we will do kind of the Bruce Adams Awards and things like that. Yeah. Yeah, so worship tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. I mean, it's at Richland Road at our church building. There is an 8:30 worship if you really want to come that early, but then you've got some time to kill after. But if you come to 11 o'clock, then you can move right into lunch, and then we're right into our day 2 activities. So it'll be crowded, which is a great blessing. So get you a good seat, and we will have it also live streaming in our fellowship hall if we run out of room in the auditorium. So, do we need help with
Stacking the chairs?
so especially these red chairs, any chairs of like kind, if we could stack them up so that we can move them out, we'll need to do that. Make sure you look around for any trash, and please throw that in the trash can. And stacks of 10. Stacks of 10 chairs, but hold on, because before we officially start that, I'm going to go ahead. We're just going to kind of end with a prayer and then bless everyone's night, and then we'll be back again tomorrow. So let's pray together. Our Father in heaven, we come before you, and we are in awe of your greatness. Father, we hope that we have learned from this to truly know that you are God, and that you love us, and you care for us, and you want us to be your people. And we thank you for that. We thank you so much for the ability to come together and just the wonderful knowledge everybody has learned through studying in the book of Exodus. We pray, Father, that as we leave here, that you would grant us safety, that you would grant us rest this evening, and that you would bless the time that we share together tomorrow. Help us, Father, as we worship you to give glory to you, and as we compete together tomorrow afternoon, that we also give glory to you then. We pray all these things in Christ's name. Amen.